I think this announcement was made last week. It was revealed that in sort of following the trend that Twilight and Harry Potter set, the Hunger Games will be 4 films instead of 3. It's so funny because my initial reaction was one of excitement, but people have such strong opinions about this. It was interesting to watch everyone talking about it last week. A lot of people really seem to hate this decision. So yeah, I mean, if you guys just want to chime in and share your thoughts on how you feel about this, and then maybe we can talk about where we think it would be, where we think the split should be made, if there is a split.
Everyone is talking about Mockingjay as being, the film that's going to get split. But there was a rumor a month ago or so about there being a prequel film, and everybody kind of brushed that off and said, no, it's never going to happen. And then this 4 movies broke, and I think we might get surprised and get a prequel out of it.
I actually hope an origin film, if like with the trend that they have now with comic books. I feel like if there's a prequel film without a prequel book, then that doesn't make a ton of sense.
No. Unless Suzanne's going to surprise us and do one, please, thank you.
Or the movie.
I want Hamish and Dave
writing the script.
Or it's something like the movie canon, like the movie way that the Hunger Games operate in the movie Panem is so different from the book variation, just from rumors that I've heard from the set about the reaping and stuff like that, that maybe if there is a prequel film, it would be for setting up that canon as being so independent from the canon in the books, which that would be kind of interesting. If they don't have, a completely separate, prequel film or something, then I hope that it's Catching Fire and not Mockingjay that's split in 2, because I feel like the first half up to the introduction of the Quell, there's so much that happens there in Catching Fire that would be a fully action-packed movie unto itself. I mean, with the victory tour and the riot in District 11 and Gale's whipping and the sort of self-discovery that Katniss has moving to the Victor's Village and kind of dealing with, all of her, personal issues, and then meeting Snow is enough for one film, and then the whole Quell and the plot to get them into District 13 being, the second film makes more sense to me than splitting Mockingjay, because Mockingjay is so everything's dependent on the scene directly before that I don't feel like that one would split as easily as Catching Fire would, because Catching Fire has that natural breaking point.
Keep in mind, though, that sometimes when the scenes do lead in very suspensefully, that makes for a great cliffhanger that can be used to divide a film too. And I'm not advocating against, and I'll stop talking so everyone else can say something. Quickly, I think the beginning of Mockingjay, when Katniss first goes back to District 12, could really be a very long scene where you truly grasp the meaning of what has happened there. And that's something where I think, because there are certain points where moves, and there are other points where a director can really take his or her case, Gary, we assume if he's doing all 4 movies.
We hope.
Can really, establish a moment, apply some of his own creativity. We've seen Peter Jackson obviously do that with Lord of the Rings, where he really took liberties in some spots to draw out battles or to do things like that. I think the third, and the other problem you're going to have too is if you notice the trend, Harry Potter split the last movie, Twilight split the last movie. It just seems like to split anything before that, it upsets the public in some way. So I just personally would be really surprised if they split Catching Fire, but then again, V, you may have a really great point, and for all you know, the 4th movie might be a documentary, the making of the Panem map, V and Meg.
Yeah.
Could be something like that. Okay, I'm done talking. Everyone else start.
I have to say, first of all, we remember Lionsgate came out, and I believe they said to the Hob that they have the rights to 4 films, but that doesn't mean they're going to do 4 films. I think we have to, we assume that they're going to, But basically, you know, we know that they wrote, when they did the contracts with, I'm sure when they did the contracts with the actors, they're signed on for 4 films, which eliminates the problem that Twilight had when they decided to do Breaking Dawn up and then suddenly have to renegotiate with all the actors. So, I mean, it was, if they were, even whether or not they do it or not, it was smart of them to even consider doing it, just for the fact that all the contract negotiation is done and they can decide what they're going to do. But I have to assume that if they were thinking about it, then between Suzanne and then they must have had some kind of an idea what they could do to make this 4th film, whether it's split a book or do a prequel or whatnot. So they must have been some forethought into it, thinking, you know, hey, maybe we are going to want to do this. But I can't see them splitting Catching Fire. I agree with you, Ed. I think it would kind of just be kind of odd to have the second film be the one that's split. But I think Mockingjay has a key split point in it, and it would be when they bring PETA back to District 13, and you have in the late, and I apologize because I really wish I could remember who and I were talking about this on Twitter, but they had said it's like a Harry Potter moment where you have this really sad moment and then you have Voldemort's elation at the end. Well, this would be it would kind of the reverse, where you would have Katniss being elated that he's back and then have it end when he comes at her. And suddenly you realize that he's not who he was. Because then you would have the first part of the film, you would still, and I have a feeling they're going to also, I mean, Mockingjay, honestly, is their battle. If they want an action film, if they want to pull away from Katniss, they can make District 8 bigger. They can make District 2 bigger. The assault on the Capitol can be bigger. I really like your idea, Adam, of the beginning scene. I think that's a brilliant idea to make that, expand that, and to see to see everything and to be, experience it. So, personally, that's why I think Mockingjay will be the one, just because they can take that first half and you can have action in it with District 8, and then that second half will be this. If they're pulling away from Katniss, which it appears they're going to do in Hunger Games to show the audience and things, this. If they do the same thing there, you've got a lot of, like I said, battle sequences they can do, and I can see them really wanting to expand on that.